Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to episode number 510 of NoDQ&A Video, right here on NoDQ.com, as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A Video's affiliate, RingsideNews.com. I am here to answer your questions regarding WWE, TNA, and content on the WWE Network, which, by the way, is only $9.99 a month. For $9.99 a month, you can get such classic WWE segments, beat the clock challenges, contract signings, Del Rio versus Sheamus a million times. All this and more for one low monthly price of $9.99 a month. With a 6-month commitment, of course, but $9.99 a month. Anyways, got that out of the way, $9.99. Time to get to your questions here from spring.me/AaronRift. First one today comes from Frank to the Top. Aaron, what do you think the chances are of John Cena winning at SummerSlam? I have a feeling he might go over because he is Super Cena after all. Well, normally I'm one to say that it's hard to bet against Cena, but in this case, I would be shocked if John Cena beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. In my opinion, that is absolutely the wrong move for business. Brock Lesnar is coming off the biggest win of his career. You can use Brock Lesnar to elevate the next big star in WWE at WrestleMania. Brock Lesnar should continue to go on a rampage from now until WrestleMania. If WWE does anything besides that, they have completely lost their minds, in my opinion. I suppose there's always a chance of a screw job, but unless John Cena's doing an actual real heel turn and they do something like that, I would stick with Brock Lesnar defeating John Cena and emerging victorious. Now, the question is, how does Brock Lesnar beat John Cena? I got a question here from Pipebomb316. Hey Aaron, could you see WWE having John Cena tap out to Lesnar to keep his momentum going? That I do not see happening. I would be very surprised if one of two things happened. John Cena beat Brock Lesnar or John Cena tapped out. One thing WWE will not do is have John Cena give up. After all, that is his motto. Never give up, never quit. That is John Cena's catchphrase. That is his way of life. That is what he has been preaching to all the young kids for decades. It seems like decades. It hasn't been decades. Almost a decade. So I don't see that happening. I don't see John Cena giving up. I do think that in all likelihood it will end with Brock Lesnar beating John Cena with, I'm sure, more than one F5. I don't see one doing the job. If one couldn't beat The Undertaker, certainly Super Cena is going to kick out of an F5. At least one, maybe two. Maybe Brock will win with something else. Maybe he'll just knock out John Cena. Who knows? But as far as Cena tapping out, that would actually shock me more than John Cena winning the match. I think that it's very unlikely, but it would be a huge shock if John Cena did tap out. But it goes against the character, and, you know, with the Make-A-Wish and all that stuff, you know, he's not going to give up. All right, this one comes from Dave451985. Hey Aaron, how much is the WWE Network? Just kidding. But if you were able to give Vince one piece of info on how to get more subscribers, what would you tell him? Well, I think that there's not really much else that WWE can do besides putting up the Raw and Nitro archives, but who knows how much that will actually make a difference. I think that the realistic situation here is that you have gotten your maximum amount of subscribers in the United States, and at this point, I think they just need to focus on rolling out the network internationally and see what happens, and cut costs, do whatever they have to do to stay profitable. I mean, that's really all WWE as a business can do. I feel that they have done the best they could with the network, and they've put out a great service, and people are going to buy it, and the people that aren't going to buy it aren't going to buy it, no matter how many times you say it on Raw. And to me, it's more preaching to the choir. When they're advertising the network constantly on WWE television, I mean, yeah, obviously they only have 700,000 domestic subscribers and they have 4+ million people watching Raw. But those people, if they weren't going to buy the network already, I don't see them buying the network, period, no matter how many times you shove it down their throats. You know, it's not going to happen. And if anything, it could have a backlash. And that leads me to the next question here from Alexis. After Raw, do you think the network is now a piece of shit that no one wants to see because it's been mentioned 100 times now? Please answer in video. Thanks. Well, just because WWE plugs it constantly doesn't mean the network is a piece of shit, as you put it. But I do think that it's a bad idea to continue to overhype the network and just excessively promote it. I think that could upset some fans and turn them off the idea of even giving the network a chance. So to me, I really feel that they're crossing a line in terms of overdoing it and promoting it too much. Like I said, they've gotten the amount of subscribers that they're going to get, and at this point, if they just keep mentioning it over and over, I mean, it really comes off as desperate from WWE that they're that desperate to get more subscribers. It's a great service. Wrestling fans that want it are going to get it. Everyone else is not going to get it, no matter how many times you promote it. All right, this one comes from Dave451985. Did I answer a question from you already? Yeah, I did, but all right, you get one more. Is this Stephanie versus Brie match really worth taking up the main event spot on the lead-up Raw 2 weeks in a row? Shouldn't bigger matches get the shot to close the show? Well, WWE feels that this is an important match, and this is Stephanie McMahon's first big match in over a decade, I believe, so WWE is making a big deal out of it, and, they already have the Brock Lesnar, John Cena promos that they were showing throughout Raw, and which, by the way, I thought that those were really well done. I really enjoyed those video packages and the interviews with Brock and John Cena. I thought that did a lot to build up to the match, and it was something different from your usual in-ring promo with the guy saying, "I'm going to beat you," and going back and forth like that. So I liked that, and the other matches had their build-up. Roman Reigns and Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins. So, they really want to try to build up this match and make this a main event caliber match as well. And obviously involves Brie, Daniel Bryan's wife, and, maybe Daniel Bryan will appear at the pay-per-view, who knows. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that. It's questionable if it's wise to put it in the main event spot. On last week's Raw, the ratings did drop in the third hour. And wouldn't surprise me if it happened again. But they're also trying to get that female audience and get them interested in SummerSlam and hook them on the pay-per-view as well. And it is an experiment, and I'm all for trying different things and putting the women in the main event spot. I mean, I didn't feel that Brie did all that good on the mic, and her acting wasn't too good, but. It does have its audience, so, I don't blame them for trying to build up that match and give that match the main event spot. Next week's Raw with Brock and Cena being on the show, I'm guessing that will be the last of Stephanie and Brie in the main event spot. All right, this one comes from Calvin Bowman 1. Hey, Aaron, what was your favorite match from the first ever SummerSlam from 1988? My will to be the Mega Powers taking on the Mega Bucks. Wanna you thank answer in video. Saying it exactly how he put it. I'm guessing you're saying that your favorite match on the 1988 SummerSlam was Mega Powers versus Mega Bucks. I agree with you. I mean, that was really the only match on that pay-per-view worth watching. And, of course, Ultimate Warrior beating the Honky Tonk Man in, 20 seconds? I don't even know the exact time. But, those two matches, I mean, that was really the only memorable moments on that first SummerSlam. Most of the rest of the show was very mediocre. Forgettable matches and, just your average mid-carder versus guy who's on his way out of the company. Junkyard Dog and those guys were, on their way out, and they were just there as basically filler. So yeah, I mean that really wasn't a spectacular card, especially compared to the cards nowadays. I mean, maybe back then it was a little bit of a bigger deal because you didn't have star versus star all that often. But like I said, it was more like upcoming star versus guy who was on his way out of the company. All right, final question today from Knowledge Allah. Hey Aaron, besides Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 8, What other dream matches were fans cheated out of? Please answer in video. Well, the one that comes to mind when I think about dream matches that we were so close to getting but we didn't get, the number one match would easily be Hulk Hogan versus Steve Austin, and we were so close. We even had the NWO versus Steve Austin and The Rock on an episode of Raw, and there was actually a moment when Hulk Hogan and Steve Austin locked up in the ring, but we never got that one-on-one match at WrestleMania or any pay-per-view for that matter. So, that was one of them. Austin versus Goldberg, another match that we were so close to getting because Goldberg had come into the WWE right around the time Steve Austin retired. They just missed each other, and we never got that Austin versus Goldberg match when Goldberg was there and Steve Austin was there at the same time. We didn't get it. And there's been plenty of other ones. Rock versus Shawn Michaels, another match that both guys were in the company at the same time, but we never got that one-on-one encounter. Sting versus Undertaker a few years ago when it was heavily speculated that Sting would be coming in, and all the mock posters were made, and there was all this buzz about it, and we never got it. So yeah, there's definitely been quite a few. Alright, that'll do it for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please share it on Facebook and Twitter. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest in WWE and TNA. And of course, the latest regarding the WWE Network, $9.99 a month. And don't you forget it. See you next time. $9.99.